Hello friend. Welcome to MovieMark. Today we have brought you some amazing world best zombie virus movies, which are masterpiece movies forever. They are currently available on Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, HBO Max and Disney+. Hope you will like them. So let's start today's video. Number 10. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. This movie based on action comedy fantasy genres, with 5.8 IMDb rating. The five highly trained Bennet sisters in Georgian England must try to protect themselves from the growing zombie threat, find suitable husbands for themselves, battle marriage proposals and unlikely suitors, and save the country before it's too late. Five sisters in 19th century England must cope with the pressures to marry while protecting themselves from a growing population of zombies. Number 9. Maggie. This movie based on drama horror science fiction genres, with 5.6 IMDb rating. After a couple of weeks seeking out his teenage daughter Maggie, Wade finds her in the quarantine wing of a hospital. Maggie has been infected by a lethal outbreak that transforms the victim into a zombie. Wade's friend Dr. Vern Kaplan releases Maggie to spend her last days with Wade and her family. Her stepmother Caroline asks Wade to take their little kids to her sister's house to keep them safe. While Maggie is slowly transformed, Wade stays with her, protecting her. But Dr. Vern warns him that the moment is coming closer and closer when he must make an ultimate decision. Number 8. Resident Evil. This movie based on action horror science fiction genres, with 6.6 IMDb rating. A virus has escaped in a secret facility called the Hive, turning the staff into hungry zombies and releasing the mutated lab animals that they were studying. The complex computer shuts down the base to prevent infection. The parent corporation sends in an elite military unit, where they meet Alice, who is suffering from amnesia due to exposure to nerve gas. The military team must shut down the computer and get out, fighting their way past zombies, mutants, and the computer itself, before the virus escapes and infects the rest of the world. Number 7. Zombie Apocalypse. This movie based on action-adventure horror genres, with 4.6 IMDb rating. Three small groups of survivors of a zombie plague join forces to reach the ferry boat to a sanctuary that they are not sure exists on Catalina Island. Along their journey, they are hunted down by hordes of zombies, and only a few of them survive. Months after a zombie plague has wiped out 90% of the American population, a small group of survivors fight their way cross-country to a rumored refuge on the island of Catalina. Number 6. Inmate Zero. This movie based on horror genres, with 5.0 IMDb rating. When medical trials are pushed to their limits, the most extreme tests end up on St. Leonard's Island in the North Atlantic, a repurposed prison for some of the world's most violent criminals. But when one experiment goes wrong, the entire island becomes a terrifying, disease-riddled maze for desperate survivors. There's a zombie outbreak after a medical trial in an international detention and medical facility on an isolated island. An ex-US Special Forces / bodyguard woman inmate and a guard form a team. Number 5. Rise of the Zombies. This movie based on action-adventure drama genres, with 4.0 IMDb rating. During a zombie apocalypse, a group of survivors hide on Alcatraz Island to escape from rising zombie hordes. When their refuge is overrun, and upon hearing that a scientist may have discovered a cure, they leave the island to seek him out. When zombies overrun San Francisco, a desperate group survives by locking themselves inside Alcatraz prison. When the undead breach the island, our heroes are forced to return to the mainland overrun with the undead. Number 4. Peninsula. This movie based on action horror thriller genres, with 5.5 IMDb rating. Peninsula takes place 4 years after the zombie outbreak in Train to Busan. The Korean peninsula is devastated and Young-suk, a former soldier who has managed to escape overseas, is given a mission to go back and unexpectedly meet survivors. A zombie virus has in the last 4 years spread to all South Korea. 4 Koreans in Hong Kong sail through the blockade to Incheon for $20 million on a truck. Number 3. Infection. This movie based on horror thriller genres, with 5.2 IMDb rating. Film about an epidemic outbreak of a new rabies virus in Venezuela and a father trying to save his son from contagion. An infection is the invasion of tissues by pathogens, their multiplication, and the reaction of host tissues to the infectious agent and the toxins they produce. 1. An infectious disease, also known as a transmissible disease or communicable disease, is an illness resulting from an infection. Number 2. Train to Busan. This movie based on action horror thriller genres, with 7.6 IMDb rating. Seok-woo, a father with not much time for his daughter, Suan, are boarding the KTX, a fast train that shall bring them from Seoul to Busan. But during their journey, the apocalypse begins, and most of the Earth's population become flesh-craving zombies. While the KTX is shooting towards Busan, the passengers fight for their families and lives against the zombies, and each other. Number 1. The Battery. This movie based on adventure drama horror genres, with 6.3 IMDb rating. Two former baseball players, Ben and Mickey, cut an aimless path across a desolate New England. They stick to the back roads and forests to steer clear of the shambling corpses that patrol the once bustling cities and towns. In order to survive, they must overcome the stark differences in each other's personalities. Ben embraces an increasingly feral, lawless, and nomadic lifestyle while Mickey is unable to accept the harsh realities of the new world and longs for the creature comforts he once took for granted. A bed, a girl, and a safe place to live. When the men intercept a radio transmission from a seemingly thriving, protected community, Mickey will stop at nothing to find it, even though it is made perfectly clear that he is not welcome. So friends, I hope you liked the video. If you like it, please subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this.